What's up, everybody? This is the Overlook, where we talk about One Piece every damn day, and you're damn right, it's Monday again, Mugiwara Monday, where we talk about the Straw Hats. Check the playlist in the back. We got Black Lake Sanji, we got Pirate Hunter Zoro, we did God Usopp, we've done them all. Today we do Soul King Brook. I guess we don't have a last name for Brook, do we? If you are new to this playlist, if you're new to this channel, please follow, like, subscribe, do all that kind of YouTube stuff. If you are new to this playlist, then please let us know who you guys want us to do next week. We got 3 more characters. This is a pre-time skip breakdown where we talk about the Straw Hat characters, some of their abilities, some of their fights, some of their notable moments. Brook's going to be a lot shorter than most, so we're just going to kind of, talk about Thriller Bark. Like I said, my name's Corey, that's CJ, that's Kev, and let's get started. Brook, Soul King Brook. He's a musician of the Straw Hats, one of their 2 swordsmen, and one of their senior officers at the Grand Fleet. He's the 9th member of the crew and the 8th to join, doing so at the end of Thriller Bark. He ate the Yomi Yomi no Mi, which allowed him to return to life after death once. Brook eventually learned to tap deeper into the powers of his devil fruit, giving him significant control over his own soul and the souls of others. What are you guys' first impressions on Brook just showing up on the ship?
Comedic relief.
He was immediately invited, but yeah, and how he was saying comedic relief just off rip, invited, and they're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck, Luffy? What are you saying? What are you doing? You just met him," and he said, "Okay." He was trolling, but he said, "Okay."
Yeah, and this is after Ennie's lobby. This is after they see Garp and Kobe and them, and then they're immediately off after they get Frankie. Very serious arc, and then they go to Thriller Bark where they're doing Michael Jackson Thriller dances, like zombies. Luffy's pushing zombies back in the ground, and you see this guy Brook. Definitely comedic relief, but there ain't really a lot funny about Brook or his backstory.
Not his backstory, that's for sure.
Chris, you want to tell us his backstory?
Yeah, because you have to be a certain kind of person to find humor in it, like dark humor. It's like that type of thing. Brook was originally a part of the Rumbar Pirates. He had his own captain, Yorkie. He was one of the musicians on the musician crew. He played the violin. Lured this little whale to him just by the music. Made a whole connection with him. Tried to leave him before they got into the Grand Line, and then end up having to leave the whale, Laboon, with Crocus. They go out. Yorkie gets sick. I don't know which kind of sickness it is. I want to say it's like akin to Sapphire Scales, if I'm not mistaken, Kev. But they end up sending Yorkie off on his own to fall to his own devices. Whereas everybody else on the crew, they just started to succumb to something similar. They started dying one by one, and they ended up playing the song that lured the Laboon that were being sake over and over again. Caught it on tape, and Brook promised all of them, because he had already eaten the devil fruit at that point, that he will return it to Laboon. And then they all died, and it goes from quartet to a trio. A duo solo. He's the last one alive. He dies. They're in the Florian Triangle. So his soul escapes, but can't get back to him in time. So he reverts to a skeleton, and then comes back alive as a cadaver. Stands up and is happy, but everybody around him is dead. So he has to spend the whole time around there cleaning up his friends, setting them aside and everything while going insane. Then gets trapped within the Florian Triangle, not able to steer, comes across Gecko Moria, loses his shadow, so he can't leave and go into the sunlight, so he dies. So he's kind of just wandering within this eternal darkness and pit of despair, going crazy, singing the song
What was the captain
That
of
he
the
was,
rum bar pirates name? What'd you say?
Yorkie?
Yorkie.
Yorkie.
The fact that first of all, what a recap. Okay. What a recap. The fact that you knew like those names and stuff off the top of your head was pretty crazy. But yeah, stuck in the Florian Triangle, waiting for Laboon, waiting to go back to Laboon and everything, just to have that kind of closure. Then we meet him. Yeah, you said he's just comedic relief, Kev.
That's kind of how I view him. At first, I think he does have a role to play because the coming back to life thing it begs the question as to why. Why is he back? What's his reasoning? Is he kind of just here to tell the tale of Corey has a great theory about who's narrating the story, that it is actually Brook. So I mean, we could talk more about that. But why? Why do you have a guy who can't die? Why? What's the point?
I think it's like one of those just one of those storytellers. Like some of these stories go on forever, kind of thing like that. And I think it's like one of those. Like I think at the end of One Piece, we're going to be getting told this story from very, very far in the future, like to just random people, or maybe he's just telling the story. But I think that's who is the narrator for this one. I also thought he was a very like comedic relief. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I thought he was a lot of comedic relief. But One Piece, my first time through, I wasn't really too into the comedic relief. The second time through, I kind of appreciated it a little bit more. I kind of listened to it a little bit more, and he does have a pretty tragic backstory.
Yeah.
I do like his powers. The Soul Fruit, I think, is very cool. The concept of him coming back before he was a skeleton, where he could just be a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. I actually like that more. And then you slowly become a skeleton over time. But I think that's horrific. You know what I mean? That's scary. Like that's like terror-inducing.
Yeah.
But the fact that he just came back and he's a skeleton, it's like, oh, okay, cool, you got your hair at least. But I like his applications of his powers. I don't think we see too much of his soul leaving his body before the time skip. We see it a little bit in Sabaody because he's using it when he's with the starfish. But here he's mainly using his sword techniques.
Or Papago?
Papago. Right now he's using his sword techniques, like his ice techniques, his speed blitz. Basically everybody's favorite Brook attack. And his only attack is that speed blitz.
Yeah, just the shielding the sword within the scabbard again, and how he takes his time and has his little one-liner and then closes it and they die. Bro, always cool.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that's like, he's really, really kind of like, he's like a funny character, you know what I mean? He's like one of them silly characters. And so when he gets serious, you're like, oh, when he starts doing those mumbles and saying those haikus before his attacks, you're like, oh, damn, this is actually kind of intense. You know what I mean?
This is actually terrifying.
Yeah. He can also control people with his music. So he has a lot of bard-like techniques. So I have this theory where everybody's broken down into like different like D&D classes, and he's the bard.
My thing with the song is that with us having a couple songs already introduced with the Drums of Liberation or Big Sake, I think he's going to have something where we talked in our Titanic captain about Doc Q kind of flying on Stronger. Go check out the video. And he's not really having a one-on-one fight, but more impacting the battlefield type of thing. I think we may get something along the same lines where he's like out here drumming from the sunny or some shit. The Drums of Liberation, and then you see Luffy getting all power. I don't know. Because I don't see a place for him at the end.
you've seen that like foreshadowed. He's been at Chekhov's guns and since the beginning in
Mhm.
East Blue before they even got to the Grand Line, where Luffy was making it a point to get him before a doctor. Like
Yeah.
he's always wanted a musician. And then there's the whole Drums of Liberation thing. There was the whole, even though it was like a shitty movie and everything, there's Film Red, but we got something where I remember reciting something that was in Uta's notes or her song, where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, music can't be forgotten. Music is something that's super prominent. Music is something that carries a message X, Y, Z. So then when you finally bring like Brook onto the ship and he provides that musical role even when he go into the next aspect with the post time skip and how that goes down, it's just like, oh, he has to be prominent, as you're saying, for a reason. He has to complement this whole Drums of Liberation or something, or have, I don't know,
We need a
amplify it.
musician, but we have Big Sake the lyrics, and we have the Drums of Liberation the beat. I mean, I think there's something there, and I think Oda's cooking. I think we gotta
Yeah.
wait quite a while for it, but I think he has something here, and I think we're all gonna like it. I
Well,
don't know what it is yet,
well, I got a
but I think
question.
there's something.
You think Ben Beckman is a better sniper than Yasop? Because he has a gun, right? So
That's more of a statement.
Brook has a sword named Soul Solid that he imbues his soul with. Where do we rank him on swordsman in the One Piece world?
Best on the straw hats.
Fencing,
on the
with the
stride.
fencing abilities. I do like how he's a fencer, and I do like how it's a cane. Those of y'all that don't know, it's not right here in my room right now. I got a cane sword. I don't take it nowhere.
I don't take it anywhere unless I fucking have to. But but
Yo.
but
So
I digress.
yeah, please digress.
Fucking insane.
I mean, I like him. He's back to you guys. Back to your guys' point earlier. It's on site for Brook. Like he's quick. Like you pull a sword, he's pulling a sword right back. Zoro's stronger, but Zoro's slower to react. I think, in that is.
He do
But
be
I think
he do be parrying.
I don't think
he
but
parries.
Brook has
more-
nothing to lose.
yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Brook has nothing to lose.
He
Like
really
he's like,
don't.
oh, I'm gonna die.
hair-
Oh, I'm
his
already
hair.
dead.
He ain't trying
Yeah,
to
you
lose
can
the throw.
see
That's
really
the one
the difference
thing.
between Zoro's and Brook's like fighting style, where Brook will use your own momentum against you and like how you were saying parry
And
and
catch you
then
off
take
guard.
advantage of you in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he catches you off guard. Whereas Zoro is more of like, I'm gonna overwhelm you. I will clash with you and still
Yeah, it's like a war
Try
of
to find
attrition
something else
kind of
to-
thing. It's like eventually
Yeah.
you're gonna give up. You're gonna
Yeah.
give up before I give up. That's just how it is. That's how these things go.
Yeah.
That's how it's always
with
gonna
Zoro.
go. Zoro
Yeah.
will be
But
the
with
last
Brook, at
one
least
standing.
he is more fluid with his fighting style.
Yeah.
Brook.
I do appreciate Brook because it's like to the point of him catching you off guard is he only needs to attack you once with his move. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find the name of his ice move from his Soul Solid, but it's just like he uses it once, people are frozen,
Ice Parade.
something like that. But I mean that sounds pretty good. So
It
he
really
uses-
doesn't matter, but
Yeah, like, that actually sounds pretty good. I was just gonna move on. But yeah, once he uses that move, like everybody's frozen and he just moves on. He's like, all right, cool, that's done. Let's go.
he's not a he's not a killer.
Yeah, usually he's like, okay, that's all done. Let's go, Robin.
Yeah,
He's not-
he
he's
keeps
not-
it moving.
he's
He
not-
never does the look back.
No.
He's always like something's blowing up behind him or something, and he just keeps it moving.
I do
be
appreciate.
great for
I
action
said
movies.
this. We did the Nico Robin video. Check that too. I said this in that video. I like it when her and Brook be walking around because everybody be doing their chaotic thing and they just be taking their time.
I'm
she's so
sorry,
nonchalant.
it's Soul Parade and Ice Burn.
And she's
Nah.
so nonchalant because he'll be like, "Hey, let me see your panties." He's like, "No, Brooke." Like
Yeah.
she'll so soft. I've told you a billion times. Fuck
Nah.
no. Leave me the
And the
fuck
same
alone.
softness.
He'll be walking with his hands behind the back. He's like, oh, I thought we were having a good
Exact
convo. My bad.
That's exactly what the fuck you would say too. Oh, I
That's
thought we were
exactly-
friends. That's my fault. That's my fault. I apologize.
I thought this was going somewhere. I thought this was escalating. I thought we were heading in a direction.
But
I misread that.
yeah, I guess he didn't really have anything to do against Kuma either time they saw Kuma.
No. But that's not his role. I loved him for what he was during the time skip, though. Now that we're kind of toward the end, like him just dropping everything for getting his old crew again, and then just becoming a fucking solo artist all over again. That was pretty funny.
He got the message.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
2 years.
No,
3
he got the
days.
message he got to your point, Corey. He got the message. To Kevin's point, he got the message after he became a rock star.
he said I might as well stay. Is what he said. He's not like he wasn't in a hurry to get back.
Like he
Papa goes
showed
like,
up
"Hey, what
and-
you reading?" Nah, none. Nothing.
But this is in
He
the
showed
pre-time
up.
skip.
and everything. Yeah.
In
Go
pre-time skip, I want to point this out because this may, by the time we get
That's
post-time
hilarious.
skip, he is summoned by that weird demonic cult, and it does look like the summoning circle that we see later on in the story from the Gordo side. So
We'll talk about
we may
that.
see a link next time.
Hilarious.
All right, everybody.
Wow.
This is the overlook, everybody.
You-
So when he showed up on that Satan circle because they were trying to summon Satan.
He said, "We'll see
And
you
then-
next time." I feel like we gotta close it out. All right, everybody. So this is the overlook. That is our conversation on Brook. Check out our conversation on all of the Straw Hats. Now, this is a pre-time skip conversation. We will be talking about the post-time skip versions
Holy
later.
crap.
As Kev would say, you gotta check that out next time. But you guys vote down below. What should be the next faction we talk about? Should we talk about the revolutionaries? Should we talk about the Marines?
Yes.
Should we talk about the sword members? It is up to you guys. You guys have the decision. You guys have the control of the channel. Write that down in the comments below, and we will be back tomorrow for the chapter.
Revolutionary.
Titanic Tuesday.
Titanic Tuesday. San Juan Wolf.
San Juan Wolf. We'll see y'all next time.
See you.